everybody, Blugoblin here. Thank you for joining me for my comic book review for the beginning of September 2014. I want to thank y'all for joining me. There's a couple of things I want to talk about here first before I get to the books at hand. Actually, one thing, now that I think about it, just one thing. It has been brought to my attention here as of late that DC and Gail Simone are bringing back Secret 6 in December. Excuse me a minute. Yes! Yes! I apologize for that. But as excited as I am about that, and trust me, I am, there's one thing I noticed when I read the reports about it. A certain individual who was made famous on the Secret 6 series, Scandal Savage, will not be present for the first issue. And I've been reading some rumors that Scandal Savage will not be present at all. And when I think about that, I'm thinking to myself, okay, not appearing in the first issue, or maybe the first couple, or maybe 2 or 3 issues, that's fine. As long as she's going to be brought in, that's fine. But if it is indeed true that she's not being brought in at all, that's going to add to this homophobic wave of bullshit that DC has attached to themselves. Because we here at DC Comics Publishings, we don't like them gays and lesbians characters in our books. The only thing a woman should have inside them is a penis. DC, do yourselves and your paying customers a favor. Grow the fuck up and realize the times have changed. I'm a proud heterosexual, but I see no problems with having gay and lesbian characters be a focal point in a comic book series. Much less they're getting you money. You like money, don't you? You're in the business to make money. And you take away characters that have a connectivity to a certain band of people, ideally the gay and lesbian community. I'm not trying to single them out, but they are a big part of your fan base, a big part of your paying customers. One of my best friends on the internet is a proud and open lesbian who feels an emotional connectivity to openly gay characters in comic books, and when they're taken away, erased from existence, or killed off, they find it insulting to their demographic. You know, you see where I'm going with this? You don't want to alienate a part of your paying customers. You don't want to alienate a certain part of your fan base. You don't even want to alienate some of your straight fans who are just disgusted by homophobic moves, like possibly ignoring Scandal Savage and breaking up Batwoman's relationship with her girlfriend / fiance for stupid fucking reasons. You know, I just got my concerns. I am going to be checking out Gail Simone's new Secret 6, but I still have my worries. You know, DC has really been showing their very homophobic moves here as of lately. And it's a sign of just flat out prejudice and hatred. And that's not cool. But with that being said, let's review some damn comic books. I only got 5 books to review. 1 DC and the rest are all Marvel. No, I did not get any of them Futures in one-shot tie-ins to titles, because I don't fucking care. I'm not reading Futures in, nor am I caring to. I gave it a try in the beginning. Issue 0 was great, and then issues 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, just pissed me off, and I just decided, screw this, I'm done. I don't care about it anymore. I'm not gonna review Futures In. I'm not gonna review any of these fucking tie-ins. I'm not buying them. I'm not wasting my money on shit that I have no interest in. So we only got one DC, and that is Batman 66 meets the Green Hornet, issue number 4 of 6. Wow. Now, despite all the shit I said about DC at the beginning of this video, and most of the shit I've been saying about DC, I still need... I wouldn't be me if I wasn't honest. There are times where they do make some good moves, and this is a good example. Kevin Smith does a fantastic job with the writing. This is probably some of the most awesome writing I've seen from a Batman 66 storytelling in the modern day. This is really, really good stuff. We get to see what's going on with Hornet and Kato as they appear to be robbing a place before Joker and General Gum can get there, yet they're confronted by Batman and Robin, and you think we're going to get a big fight between the two groups of superheroes, but then something happens, and, you know, it's a little bit of a swerve. It's like an, oh, we'll get you next time kind of deal. This is really good. And also paying homage to the fact that sometimes criminals aren't as stupid as some people think they are. There's some stuff in here that makes Joker and Gum look pretty damn smart. Like, they're actually able to predict Batman and Robin, and as well as Hornet and Kato, so well that Batman and Hornet, they get suckered at the end of this book, and I thought it was really well put together. This was an awesome read. Very well detailed. The artwork was the cover's awesome, and the interior artwork was good as well. But what really sells it is Kevin Smith's writing. I think he does a great job with it. Fantastic stuff. I'd give it a 4. Alright, we're moving on to Marvel, starting off with all new X Factor number 13. Gorgon, you charming as ever. This is the next step of Quicksilver owning up to his past mistakes. You know, he's finally openly admitting, he's like, yeah, I did all that despicable shit when I was younger, and now I know I shouldn't have blamed it on the Skrulls, and that was such an easy way out. You know, it's Quicksilver owning up to the fact that, yes, when I was young, I was an asshole, and I'm trying to make up for that. And this was a good example of how that story is being progressed, and I thought Peter David did a fantastic job. The interior artwork helps sell it, and, you know, it's, you know, with Quicksilver being, being confronted by Gorgon, you know, it's like Quicksilver, he does mount a defense against Gorgon, but you can tell that his heart's not all in it. You know, he kind of wishes he wouldn't have to put up a defense physically, because he knows some of this beating he gets, he kind of deserves it. But it's all resolved, and in the end, there's a nice touching moment for Quicksilver and his daughter Luna. Pretty nicely done, and the stuff with the stuff with Danger and Warlock just killed me. I loved it. This was great. A solid read. Peter David nails one. This was a very good issue. Not too much of action, but the action we do get is good. But what really sells it is the storytelling, the drama, Quicksilver owning up to his asshole behavior from the old days. This is really good, and I strongly recommend giving this run of X Factor a try. Now, is it as good as the Madrox run? Hell no. But to be fair, Peter David is still doing a great job post-stroke. You gotta think about this. The man had a stroke. He came back, battled back from it, and he's still writing some good shit. That's mad respect for Peter David. This was awesome. It's not perfect, but you gotta think about it, you know, it is what it is. And what I got here, I loved it. Thought it was a great read. I'd give it a 4. Moving on to Spider-Man 2099 number 3. Speaking of awesome stuff from Peter David, here's another good stuff. This was wow. This was just wow. Miguel is being confronted by Liz Allen saying, you know, we got to mend our business relationship. So I'm sending you and Tiberius to another country to work out a deal about some spider slayers and everything. Miguel's not for it at all. Period. He doesn't like the idea. But Liz has to flip the bitch switch on and, you know, say, you're going to go whether you like it or not. I'm your boss. You're going to do your damn job. Am I understood? And all that shit. I mean, we've all heard that before. But, you know, when you go into work, I'm sure anybody who's ever gone to work and dealt with their boss has probably heard shit like that before. So that's relatable, and I liked that. You know, just because there may be some friendliness going on between them, Liz still knows who she is and what power she has. So I thought that was really good. Kind of abrupt and like, whoa, okay, go girl, you know, and all that shit. And then we go on to what's going on with Miguel and Tiberius. Still hates the fact that he has to protect his grandfather, knowing what a fucking asshole he is. And things don't go so well for good old Mr. Tiberius Stone, if you will. Things don't go so well for him. And when Miguel has to make the unfortunate rescue attempt, somebody steps in. And I'm not going to spoil who it is. Because I'm like, God damn. The last time I saw this guy, he wasn't looking so good. And I was like, wow, okay, pulling him out. All right, let's see where this goes. And the book ends on a dun-dun-dun kind of cliffhanger, and I thought it was really well executed. The action-packed moments that we got in here was good. It, you know, it fits the character very well. The drama in here was decent for what it was, and I thought the writing was solid. I thought this was a good book. I think this is a good series that you should get on board with. I give this book a 4 as well. This was really good. Time for the pick of the week. And man, am I living in Bizarro World. Let me tell you something. Uncanny X-Men, number 24, with that god-awful look that Dazzler's sporting now on the cover. That book was a piece of shit. Now, let's divert our attention to Uncanny X-Men number 25. You want to talk about a complete fucking reversal. 24 was bullshit. 25, wow. But now, don't get me wrong. This is not a 5. This is not a 5 out of 5 book. This barely got my pick of the week status, but it gets it. Now let me explain why. Brian Michael Bendis. I think somebody told him, hey, 24 sucks. You got to top it. Okay. And he just pulled out all stops and said, I'm going to make 24 look like it was forgettable, which it is. But Bendis went overboard with trying to top 24 because in here, we don't learn so much about Xavier's marriage to Mystique. We don't hardly learn anything about that. What we learn about is something that Charles Xavier did in the original days with the original 5 X-Men that none of the X-Men know anything about. He found a young mutant with a power so fucking overwhelming and so cataclysmically dangerous. Charles Xavier goes into great length and detail, and he truly explains how emotionally damaging it was for him to go against something that he believes in to benefit not just mutants but to everybody in the world. But in order to protect human and mutant kind, he had to go against something he believes in. And he explains in great detail just how much it pained him to do it. Yet at the same time, Dick Summers pauses the message and literally, word for word, says, you goddamn hypocrite, and he completely throws a bitch fit without hearing the entire story. Once again, proving just how much of a dick Scott Summers really is, jumping to conclusion before he hears the full story, thus making him, again, shocking, look like a villain, especially in the eyes of Bobby Drake. And there were some major burns in this issue when it came to Cyclops. my God, Bobby nails an incredible burn on Cyclops in here that I dare not repeat. You need to read it for yourself, because I read what he says to Scott and I went, burn that motherfucker. And when we find out the full story about this young mutant and what Xavier did, I was captivated. It got my full attention. I was ready to see where this was going. And of course, the emotional state that the X-Men are in once the message is over, especially what Xavier says at the closing of the message. You got to think about this. This was not just their teacher. This was not just their mentor. This was their father. And even Scott Summers, dick as he was in this issue, he still shows a sentimental side to seeing Charles, talking about what he did and everything like that. This was a highly emotional issue, and it was damn good. Just in my opinion. If you thought that this was just as bad, if not worse, than issue 24 was, then you're fully entitled to that opinion. But for my money, I think this was $5 well spent. I thought it was great. Just a fantastic read, and the stuff that Xavier talks about in here was really good. Honestly, it was a home run. Kind of a home run. Barely a home run, but not a grand slam. I give it a 4.5. And we're ending this with X-Men number 19. I'm not going to say too much about this. Mark Guggenheim does the writing. But all honesty, this was just kind of some more stuff about, some outer space tension, some outer space danger, and, being sucked out into space. There's a hole in our spaceship, and there's some creatures that are vulnerable to psychic attacks and whatever. I was just like, throughout this thing. But there's a good moment for Storm in here. That moment, and the moment that Rachel Gray finds out which member of the Shi'ar was responsible for the order given to slay her family. That was a good moment. The rest of this was just kind of The cliffhanger didn't really wow me. I felt like this was an average read at best with a couple of good moments. So I'll be fair. I'll be extra generous and give it a 3. If we didn't get the Rachel Gray or Storm moment, I would have given this book maybe a 2, maybe a 2.5, barely making it an average read. But I'm in a good mood. I'm going to give it a 3. This was just kind of there. Alright, so there's my review, everybody. I want to thank y'all for watching it, and keep your eyes peeled for Secret 6 in December. I really got my hopes up for that, but like I said, I got my fears and I got my doubts about it. But I will give it a try. It's Gail Simone. I'm always willing to give her a try when I can. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget my Blugoblin X channel. Jennifer and I would love it if you would check out Arkham Asylum Studio. Don't forget my bro, my student, TheMtVernonKid. Don't forget Deadpoolzilla, Brandon Hex. They're always pumping out some good videos, especially Deadpoolzilla with all the Doctor Who videos he likes to do. Thanks again for watching, everybody. And until next time, I'll see y'all later.